RC Chaser. We are RC.
This is RC Chaser. We got a new toy here today. This is the new A29 Tucano. Big scale. We use a Capt 60 for power. And this is my custom-made 2023 Top Gun airplane. We have the smaller Tucano, which uses a 45 size turbine engine. This one is the big one. Uses a 60 size turbine engine. I have one already. I got to fly the prototype. It was the second Tucano built, and we made some changes to it. We adjusted this, we adjusted that. This was changed a little bit, and all those modifications were made, so we have a better product. And this is it right here. I haven't opened the box yet. I just got it the other day. So we're gonna open this box, see what's inside, talk about the pieces, and see what I got for Top Gun 2023.
Good. Looking forward to it.
Let's do it. This box here, you can see, here's the factory name, Juniaer. They're in Brazil, in a state called Minas Gerais. And this box here, oh, you see how well packed it is. I already purchased 4 or 5 Tucanos, and not once I had any problems. Not once, not even a scratch on anything. Nothing broken, nothing scratched, nothing at all. And they do a terrific job packing the airplane. Here we go. Let's see what's in the box. All right. Let's start opening this baby up. It seems like we got some wing tubes and the fuselage and a couple of things on top. We got some internal structures. I think this is one of the shelves for the fuel tank. And let's take this small bag here first. Let's see what's in here. I think this is the horizontal stabilizer. Yeah, it is. See how well packed everything is? It's double packed in air bubble stuff. So this is the horizontal stabilizer. Oh, one more thing. I had this custom painted for me because the judges at Top Gun are very good and very picky. So I worked with the person who painted this airplane. His name is Juniaer. And he would ask me about the location of the lines, the location of the rivets, the location of the decals, if it was okay with me to proceed with the paint scheme. And I would look at the real airplane and compare it to the model. And I would ask him to, hey, move this a little bit higher, move this a little bit to the left, move this a little bit to the right. So we were able to work together, because in the last 4 competitions at Top Gun, in the last 4 years, every year I bring a Tucano from Juniaer, I win a trophy. That's how good they are. Believe me, it's not me, it's the airplane. Here we go, first part. This was all painted by hand, one at a time. And you can see the details. We got the big screws, we got the rivets, the lines. It's very well detailed. Look how beautiful this is. There's the little compartment for the servo, and they have that live hinge. It's cut on one side and allows the elevator to go up and down. And look at the quality of the finishing. If you can see the glue and how straight the line is, that's very important. Look at the precision. It's an amazing. They do an amazing work. It's perfect, inside and outside. So that's part one, the left horizontal stabilizer and the right stabilizer. And like I said, these lines, every piece of paint work made in this airplane was double checked and triple checked with the real airplane to make sure the judges are not going to find any fault with the airplane. If you guys go to juniaer.com.br and you look at the airplanes, you're going to see some pictures of the Top Gun competitions from the past where I got the trophies with Juniaer airplanes. And then you can see what planes won what trophy. I had different paint schemes. This is my first time with a green and gray camouflage. This is the Brazilian Air Force paint scheme that they use in the Amazon jungle. And they fight the drug dealers and protect the borders of the Amazon with this type of aircraft. The difference between the T-27 Tucano and the A29 Tucano, the T-27 is a smaller Tucano and T for training aircraft. So the Brazilian Air Force Academy used the T-27 for training. The A29 is a bigger version, bigger engine, big turbine, big everything. It's used for an attack, A29, attack aircraft. So they have guns and bombs and extra fuel tanks. And that's why I chose to go with this one this year. So I can do more things with it. I can make, with my 3D printer, some machine guns, some bombs, some fuel tanks, and all kinds of extra things. Because the more you do a Top Gun, the more points you get. So this one, as you can see, is the same quality, same everything. It's perfect. And I guarantee you, if you go online, because we're going to see the aircraft number. This aircraft does exist. And if you go online and you compare this line with the real airplane, it's going to be exactly the same. It's not going to be a millimeter this way or this way. It's going to be exactly the same. That's how good they are. Okay, what's next? I think next is the fuselage, a piece of the fuselage here. Because of the size of this airplane, the fuselage is divided in two halves. And you can tell from the size of the vertical stab how big of an airplane this is. Also, like I said before, no damage at all. In the last 5 years, I've been buying these airplanes. Never had any problems, not a scratch on them. All right, here we go. There's the fuselage. And if you go online and you look for this number, you will see the real aircraft. And if you look at the number, let's say the number 2, which is going to be right under an antenna here. And if you look on the real picture, the number 2 is going to be exactly under the antenna. The 0 is going to be exactly between the 2 and the 9. The distance between the 2 and the 7 is going to be exactly what you see here. That's how picky Top Gun is. The Brazilian Air Force symbol here will be about this far from the green line. The static ports are going to be pretty much equidistant from this decal and the tip of the star. So what you see is exactly like the real airplane. Look at this. They're so detailed. Even the radar has the name Collins on it. Look at that. Who would put a decal under the airplane? Nobody's going to see it, but that's how Juniaer is. It doesn't matter if they're going to see it or not. If it's here, there it is. It's supposed to be here. Boy, I can't wait. Oh, yes, here. Because of the length of the fuselage and transportation, the fuselage was cut in two halves, and they have some pegs and bolts that go all the way around. So you have the option of leaving it like this. So if you have a small car, for transportation purposes, you don't have to glue the two halves together. But I got a big van, so what I did, I put the bolt, some glue, and mine is permanently glued together, so I don't have to take things apart. And if you can look inside, look at the quality of the work. It's perfect. Everything they do is, well, like you see here, even the inside is painted. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. That's why I've been with them for so long. I'm actually one of the factory pilots, and I test fly the airplanes, and I tell them which modifications to do, to make, and they always listen to the advice of the customers. Not only me, anybody who has a Tucano and has a different idea or a suggestion, you just send an email to the factory. They will look at your suggestion, and if it's good, they will adapt the aircraft to your suggestion. Oh, look at this. I got all kinds of goodies in here. This is the cowling. I think it's the lower part of the cowling, and on the inside they put a bunch of extra items like the I think that's the elevator. No, that's the rudder. Here's the elevator, or vice versa. Decals for the panel, but I have a custom-made full-size panel. I'm not going to need these, but if you just want a simple panel, there's the decal for it. And you see each item is individually double packed. Sometimes, you know, it's a pain to remove all these bubbles, but it gives you satisfaction because you're buying a product of quality, and so it feels like Christmas morning here with all these toys. And this is the top of the cowling right here. They have an oil door here, so you can check the turbine oil with the decals, and some screens for air intake for refrigeration of the turbine. Look at the quality of this job. So before we install this in the airplane, we paint the inside with some thermal paint from BVM, and then I like to put a piece of thermal cloth on the inside to give one extra layer of thermal protection. And this is the bottom part of the cowling. The landing gear will retract to this side here, this part here. There you go. Look how beautiful this thing is. And here's another reason I decided to go with this camouflage paint scheme. It's a very simple paint scheme. And so it'll be easy for the judges to judge this. But it's beautiful at the same time. Beautiful. Now, what we got here? Just basic things. Oh yeah, this is the nose gear door. The nose gear door will be attached to the low side of the cowling here, the bottom side. Gear door, and this is the light. Yes, I also purchased a set of lights for it. This is the light system. It comes pre-wired with all the LEDs, all the lights already soldered in place. All you have to do is run the wires inside the wing and put it together. It's all here. And I also purchased the extra fiberglass control horns. They're really, really good because they are made for this airplane and they're very tough. I was never able to break one of these here. These here are the plastic lenses for the lights that are installed on the wingtip, and also the landing gear lenses. You can see everything they do is quality work. Here are the antennas. Remember I told you about the 2 and the 9? This antenna goes right there, like this. The ventral stakes. These help with the directional control of the real aircraft. They go right here, like this, right there. And the last part is just some wood for the inside of the fuselage. So let's see what else we got here. All right, this is the carbon fiber wing tube and horizontal stab tube. Look how strong this thing is.
Yeah, it comes with the little thing.
Yeah, it's protection.
I've never seen that.
Look at that. That's the quality of it. They even protect something that is pretty much indestructible.
How come you got that? I didn't get it.
Because this is the new version. This is the one with all the changes. But you have all the changes also. RC Chaser here, he has one. He just got it about 3 weeks ago. And his airplane is beautiful. Beautiful. It's got a very nice paint scheme. This is just a rod for some of the connections on the inside. Nothing to it. All right, let's get one of the wings. See, like I said, not a single scratch on anything.
You're not done completely opening it yet.
Well, but I know, because everything looks perfect in there. All right, here are the wings, both of them. if there is a scratch, I'm the one who's gonna make it. This came up here thousands of miles from South America. Not a dent, nothing broken, nothing scratched. And I was told, I don't know if it's true or not, the owner of the company is the one who packs each airplane individually because he wants to make sure it was done correctly. That way, when it arrives at the destination, whatever it is, Europe, Asia, because they sell these airplanes all over the world, he makes sure that it's well packed so there's no damage to it. All right, let's look at this wing here. It's over there. Let me remove this here like this. Slowly, so I don't put a scratch on my Top Gun airplane.
Skinning it here.
Yeah, it's all I need, right? Is to put a scratch on the Top Gun airplane. There you go. Look at that. Wow. Look at the size of this wing. All the decals underneath are there. All the details. The rivets, the access panel, the decals, the paint scheme. Perfect. And believe me, if you get the picture of the real airplane and you count the latches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the fuel cap is going to be between the 6th and the 7th latch. And this is going to be between the 7th and the 8th latch because Jonah and I, we made sure that these decals and the paint scheme was perfect. The lines are perfect. This star, perfect. So I would talk to him maybe twice a week and ask him to move this a little bit to the left, move that a little bit to the right. And because of him, we got trophies every time we went to the Top Gun competition. All right, what else we got here? Okay, this is the rudder. The rudder has a special decal, which is the squadron decal. Apparently, they've been flying this airplane for 10 years. So they decided to make, and it's the Scorpion Squadron, 10 years. They even made that, custom made. Look at this. Beautiful, perfect. All right, oh yes, the canopy. Let's look at the canopy now. This is a plexiglass canopy. I asked for 2 canopies. That way, if I destroy one or scratch one, we have a spare one. I always like to take spares to the competitions. Look at the side of this cockpit here, the glass. Look at that. You have to see the full-size cockpit and the pilots under this piece of glass here. It's beautiful, beautiful. I don't know what kind of plastic they use, but it's very transparent and bright. It really looks good in the airplane. here's the other canopy, the spare one. Beautiful. Slowly, so we don't scratch it. Beautiful. Okay, now it's the other big piece. The front of the fuselage. The main body of the airplane. This one's got 3 layers of bubble wrap. I told you there wouldn't be any damage, any scratches, nothing. It's perfect. It feels like Christmas morning. Got a few things in there. Wow, look at this, beautiful. And the cool thing when you buy this airplane, you can ask the factory to paint the airplane with any paint scheme you want. If it exists, if it doesn't exist, if it's a fantasy paint scheme, whatever, they'll do it for you. So now, as I told you, here is the area that I use to put the switches, on and off switch, gauge for the landing gear, and fuel lines, smoke line, and that goes right there. Now this one is the other side. This one goes right there. This one goes right here. There you go. And here's the basic cockpit. This is the cockpit that comes with it. It's from the waist up. So you put the cockpit decals in here, and the torso and the head of the pilots right there with the canopy, and call it good, you're ready to fly. But I like, because of the competition, to have a full cockpit, and I can do a reveal RC Chaser video next week when the cockpit's here. The cockpit should be here in about 7 days or so. Let's see what's inside the fuselage. All right, we got two fuel tanks. One is the turbine fuel tank. The other one I use for smoke. We tap the exhaust system in the 60 size King Tech, and we shoot some smoke fluid into the hot exhaust and produces that wonderful smoke. And this is what was making noise in here. This is the engine mount. There you go. The 60 size turbine goes right here, and that goes right there. Just beautiful. Look how tough that is. And look how much space you have for the radio and the fuel tanks. This is like a cavern in here. Look at the size of this thing. And the quality. You don't see any wood, you don't see any fiberglass, it's all painted. And back here is the attachment, the pegs and the holes for the screw, the bolts actually. Imagine this thing, look how big this is. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait. A month from now, we'll have another video, the building of this airplane. All right, what else? That's it. So nothing else in the box. This is the review video from RC Chaser, Juniaer A29 Tucano, my 2023 Top Gun entry. And in about a month, we're gonna make another video of this Tucano pretty much ready for flight. I have the landing gear in the garage, and we can do a review some other time. But this is the airplane. That's what you get when you buy the airplane. All right, guys, thank you, RC Chaser, for coming to my home and checking the new airplane. So I'll see you at Top Gun 2023.
I am an RC Chaser.
I am RC Chaser.
I'm RC Chaser.
We
We are RC Chasers.